Hi everybody, welcome to the Messy Cook by Dale. Thanks again for all your support and all your recipe ideas. I really appreciate it. Today we're going to be doing something I think is really special because it is my most favorite dessert in the whole wide world, and that's cinnamon buns. This is a recipe that I've had for over 45 years. It's my sister-in-law Denise's recipe that I think she got from her mother. It's an old recipe, and she gave it to me. She's an artist, Denise, and she has beautiful handwriting. She gave it to me on a beautiful piece of paper like 45 years ago. And since then, because I use this recipe so much, I had to put it onto a piece of paper myself because the other one got all messed up. And this is about 40 years old, I'm sure, this one. And I realized that when I took out my recipe book, that on the back side of this is my middle son's, probably grade 2, writing. So this is at least 35 years old or whatever. So it's an old recipe. So we are going to start today by doing the yeast. Now this is a cup of warm water with 4.5 teaspoons of dry yeast, and we're talking 2 teaspoons of sugar. So that has been proofing now for the last 5 minutes or so. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to heat up some milk to the scalding point. Now, scalding means it's just not quite boiling, but it's very hot. Now, in the old days, they used to scald the milk because it would pasteurize it, but we don't have to do that today. But there's also another benefit of scalding the milk, and that is, as I'm told, that it really makes the dough nice and fluffy. So we'll see. So I have some milk in the microwave. I'm just going to put it on for 30 more seconds to bring it up to 180 degrees. And I have my trusty digital thermometer here, so we'll test that out. So we will check to see, make sure that it's not boiling or scalding, or we want it scalded, but we don't want it over boiling either and burnt. All right, let's take a look. This looks good. So let's try it and see if it's 180. Oh, it's up there, yeah. And it is 180. Cool. Got a bit of a skim on it, but that's fine. So we'll put it in here. We will put in 6 tablespoons of shortening. I use Crisco, do not use oil. The recipe calls for shortening, so we do the shortening. 6 tablespoons of shortening, that goes in there and will melt up. Okay, 6 tablespoons of shortening, and we have sugar. We have half a cup of sugar and 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt that I'm going to put in here as well. So I'll mix that up, and it will melt up, and just be warm enough then that we can add 2 eggs to it. So let's just melt it up. I mean, this recipe we used to eat it at Christmas time. I would make it for Christmas morning, and the boys and Dan really loved it, and we'd have it as a treat. I made it for years and years and years, and then I stopped making it because there was just the 2 of us, and it just seemed like a lot of work for nothing. But you know what? They freeze beautifully, so it's not a bad idea. All right, so that's almost done there. Let me feel. Okay, what I don't want to do is make scrambled eggs out of this. So I want to make sure it's good and cooled down. All right, so we've got 6 tablespoons of shortening, the salt, the sugar, the milk, and let's put in the eggs. So I will, while don't want scrambled eggs. And this is the recipe that, I mean, I've looked at recipes on the internet of cinnamon buns, and this is a very unusual one. A lot of them don't have eggs in it, or the shortening, but these are tried and true, believe me. All right, so we're going to add this to the mixture here. I've got some of this on it, of course. And we'll just give it a mix. Okay, so there we have it. Now we're going to start adding our flour. It's 6 cups of flour. I'm going to do it in increments of a cup. course, there's 1, 2. I'll do 3 cups at first. 3. I've never gone through so much flour and sugar in this house as I have since the pandemic. I mean, because I'm making bread, I'm making cakes, I'm making all kinds of stuff. All right, so give it a mix like this. It's getting there. I want to make sure I have all my ingredients. Smells great. Okay, let's start adding more of this, more flour. 1, 2. Let me add that. Oh yes, it's getting there. So we're going to knead this for about 8 minutes. So I will get my arms ready. It is a workout, no question. Okay, so we're almost there. I love the smell of yeast. Oh, it just reminds me of homemaking, baking and bread and all of that sort of thing. Okay, so we're going to turn it on, turn it here, like that. Oh, making a mess, but okay, that's what Dale does. Okay, so we're going to start working it now with our hands. Put a bit more flour on there and work it. More flour. It's still pretty wet. It's so fluffy, it feels wonderful. So we're going to, I'm going to put more flour. I'm going to knead it for about 8 minutes. And I'm going to start doing that now. So I'll see you in about 8 minutes. Okay, 8 minutes, we're done. Looks beautiful, smells lovely. Okay, so now it goes into a bowl that has been greased because we're going to let it rise. So a little bit of veggie oil. Don't use olive oil, not for this. It's too strong a taste. So some veggie oil in there so it won't stick. I'm going to put my dough in there. And unlike other things I've done, I'm going to put butter on the top of this because it's a savory dough. I mean, it's not savory dough, it's a sweet dough. Sorry. Okay, some butter on top. There we go. I'm going to cover it with a clean towel. And I'm going to put it into a draft-free place, which is my oven. No heat on. I'm going to turn the light on just to give it a little bit of heat. And it's going to go in there until it doubles in size. So that's about an hour and a half. When we come back, I'm going to roll it out and show you what our next steps are. So see you soon in about an hour and a half. Hi everybody, welcome back. The dough has risen to double in bulk. Comme ça. And now we're going to make the toppings here. I have 1.5 cups of brown sugar in the bowl here with 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. And to that, I'm going to add pecans. Now, this recipe calls for raisins. I don't like raisins. Never have, probably never will at my age. So I have opted out to put pecans. I love pecans or pecans, whatever. So I'm going to add that to that. You put about 1 cup in there. And you mix this up because this is going to be the topping that goes on the dough. Give it a good mix. Incorporate it really well. Looks like a lot, but it does make a lot of buns. A lot of buns. All right, that's good enough. Okay, so we're going to do the rolling. Here we go. So I'm going to put the dough. I'm going to first put some flour down. Put some dough here. And put the dough on there. There it is. Looks beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half. good sharp knife. There we go. Put this aside, and there's the butter on top. And now we start rolling it. So we're going to roll it out into a triangle that is approximately 16 by 12, I think it is. 16 by 10 inches. All right, let's do it. Turn it around a couple of times. This is therapeutic, I'm telling you. So you want it to be about 1/4 of an inch, of a half an inch thick. Let me just see, I have my trusty, this is 14 by 8, so almost there. Okay, I'm not going to do much more than that because I like them nice and thick. Looks good. Okay, so now we start with butter. We are going to put some melted butter on top of this. And don't be afraid, slather it on. Oh gosh, it's so good.
It's more like a rectangle than a triangle.
Oh, did I say a triangle?
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. Rectangle. Jeez. Oh gosh, I need to have people here to take care of me. I'm telling you when I'm doing this. Okay, there we go. All right, using my hands, mix this up a bit, and you're going to spread this on top. Look at this. Ooh, mama. Excellent. So you put about half of that on there. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you are going to roll it up the long side first. Okay, so you're going to, like a jelly roll, like this. And there we have it. First one. So I'm going to put this into a pan. You're going to use a serrated knife because you want to make sure you cut right down through it. Okay, and you're going to give yourself, you're going to make them about, what do they say here, an inch thick. So I don't know if that's an inch or not, but we're going to safely say yes. There we have it. And you're going to put them in the pan. Oh, they look so good. And you're going to put them in the pan so they're touching one another. Okay, Dan, did you get a good look at this in the pan? So if you wanted to use raisins, of course, use raisins. I'm just not a lover of raisins. In cooking, and I guess a raisin bran I'll eat, and I have eaten, and that seems to be okay, but certainly not in my my cinnamon buns, that's for sure. See, they make a lot of buns, but like I said before, they will freeze beautifully. And there we have the first one. So on top of that, I'm going to put some melted butter. And I'm going to do the other pans off camera, so you won't be bored with what I'm doing here. But it's going to be the same type of thing. I'll roll out the second jelly roll. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover each of these pans with some saran wrap or plastic wrap, and I'm going to put them back in a draft-free place, which is the oven in my case, with the light on, and I'm going to let them rise till they're double in bulk, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what happened. Well, no, what I'm going to do, they're going to double in size. Yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back and show you, because it's going to be, I want to show you how much they rise. All right, so we'll see you in a little bit. So we're back. These buns were put into the draft-free place, which was my oven with no heat on them. They rose till double in size, and we got 2 dozen out of that recipe, so that's good to know. And again, they will freeze. So I'm going to pop them in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 to 25 minutes. But watch them. You don't want them to brown, or you want them to brown, but you don't want them to burn. All right, so I'm going to do that now, and we'll see you in about 30 minutes. See you later. Hi, so we're back. Here are the cinnamon buns. They took about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever. They're cool to the touch, still a little bit warm. And I made some glaze for it. And what this is very simple glaze. You put 2 cups of icing sugar with a teaspoon of vanilla and 3 or 4 tablespoons of milk. You judge what it is, and some softened butter. And the softened butter is 2 tablespoons. So you have to mix it up until it's about running like that. So I'm going to put this on here. Let me take a spoon and drizzle it on, sort of like that, and then I'll just use my offset spatula to, oh my gosh, this is so good. Smells, that the apartment just smells so good. Simple, simple, simple. Now you don't have to put any icing on it if you find it too sweet or whatever. I just might do 1 pan of this. And there we have it. Okay. Now for the reveal and the taste. So let me just take one out of here. Sort of like that. Look at this. Look at this. Perfection. Okay, cup of coffee, cinnamon buns. I'm one happy girl, let me tell you. Delicious. Your napkin. Oh my God. Oh, it's so good. Gotta try it. Okay. Oh, the really good, people. I'm telling you, try this recipe. Okay, so I want to say a big thank you to Denise. This is your recipe, tried and true, beautiful. Thank you so much, Denise. If you like what you see and you want to subscribe and give me a thumbs up on my Facebook page, on the YouTube channel, terrific, that would be great. I would like to know whether you would like raisins or no raisins. What's your vote? And put it in the comments below. Raisins or no raisins? We'll see. I say no raisins. Stay safe, stay busy, and wear a mask, okay? Don't forget to wear a mask. And you know what? Forget the mess. I'm happy. Oh my God. Life is good, man.